Okay, just gonna warm up here with some 58-degree wedge. Just gonna flick a few out there. I've already gone through some stretching, a little warm-up routine. I just like to get a little bit of tempo going when I warm up. Nothing major. Not trying to hit it real far. Just trying to get that club down in front of me as I come down with my wedge, especially. I don't want to get it trapped behind me. So it's just trying to cover the ball a little bit here. A little fat there. Usually miss a few when I start get going here. But once again, this is just my 50-yard shot. Very important to have a 50-yard shot, or maybe 40 yards your number, or 60 yards is your number. But you got to have that dialed in shot that's pretty easy for you in that range. For me, it's 50 yards. It's perfect right there. Just feel like my left arm gets to a parallel position. My right arm gets to a parallel position. My tempo is at about a 6 when I hit this 50-yard shot. And I'll start taking it up a bit with my 58-degree here. Kind of go up about a notch and I get like 62. There's my 62. Probably my most comfortable yardage is 62. Just worked out that way. Just the tempo I like to swing at with wedge, the length of my arm swing. There's 62. Perfection. You know, this is we're just doing a live practice session here. I'm not going to cut away. If I miss a shot, I miss a shot. It's on camera, so what? Not like anybody's ever missed a shot before, right? Got my 9-iron now. Just some smooth ones right now. I'll work up the speed as I go through the bag a little bit. But let's try and pump one up here. There's more of a full one there. Usually I clean my clubs between hitting balls, but I don't want to bore you with wiping my clubs down, so I'll do that later. Everybody's working on something, hopefully, when you practice. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things. Could be. Could be a pre-shot routine. My pre-shot routine is something I'll practice during the range session, and it's always the same. Anybody that's played with me has noticed that it's what it is. This is what it is. I get back here about 8 to 10 feet behind the ball. I take 3 steps, always with my left foot first. 1, 2, 3. I square it off, tap my toe, bang the club down, a couple of waggles, off to the races. There's a good 7-iron. That's always it. You know, your shot doesn't start once you're over the golf ball. It starts back here in your pre-shot routine. That all flows into the shot. You've got this whole routine going that just flows into your golf shot, as opposed to just getting the ball and whacking one, which too many people do on the range. Just grab a ball, whack one. Make sure you break that up a little bit. You know, hit 5 or 6 balls, do your routine a couple times. Hit 5 or 6 balls, do your routine a couple times. Got to make it like you're on the golf course, so you don't feel weird once you're out there on the course, right? Try to make it normal. Let's hit one more 7-iron. It's always nice to have, you practice, you got a brand new glove, clean clubs, fantastic range balls, good turf to hit off of. A beautiful day. It's going to be like 75 degrees today. You gotta love that. Warming up good today. Let's grab a 5-iron. I don't like to spill the balls out, you know. For the same reason. Try to get just a couple balls out of the bucket so I don't get used to just grabbing balls all the time. Not, once again, not what you would do on the golf course. That ball's a little right. That would have missed the green on a 180-yard shot with my 5-iron. And when I do that, obviously my club face is open. But sometimes I get that club a little behind me, so I'm always working on trying to cover the ball coming back into impact. Much better there. Sometimes when I play tournaments, a bad shot that I'll hit will be a shot that goes to the right. And that's just me either getting short with my backswing, which can lead to open club face for me. So I like to complete my backswing. I want those arms up here. I want this left arm or this right arm in this triangle position. I'm not a big fan of teachers that try to squeeze a tennis ball between your forearms and keep that elbow tight to your right rib cage. I think that's bad. They call that connection. If you call that connection, I would have serious issues with that person teaching that method. You might want to look at Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, Rory McIlroy. I can go on and on about that move and not packing that right elbow. Now, some people can't do it. I understand that. But some people teach it as a way of a method, which is the best to them. I disagree. My little right shot there. I was not in full concentration mode as I'm talking here on the camera, but let's get a big 5 here. Let's get that arm nice and wide. Boom. Go to a 3-iron. I always like to skip 2 clubs between changing clubs. You know, 9 to 7, 7 to 5, 5 to 3. My normal shot is a tiny little draw. But if I want to take that draw away, I just kind of line my stance up slightly left of the parallel flight line. There's one that's not cutting. That's just moving your path a little bit left. Make sure your club face is right of that path. So if I'm hitting a draw, I would swing my path, my direction of my swing. My path is to the right, my club face is closed to the direction when I hit the ball. These are impact dynamics. You can create any shot you want. But if I'm just going kind of parallel, railroad tracks, making just a normal swing, a little right there. Once again, didn't cover the golf ball. Pay attention, Jerry, pay attention. Boom. That's something I work on all the time, getting that club to cover. That could be, sometimes that's easier said than done. Because the feeling that I will have as I'm getting away from that getting stuck to the inside move is that it feels kind of loose, but that's a good thing. I'm trying to actually, the mantra I would have on that is, you want to lose control to gain control. That's a good feeling. That's how a golf swing should be. Boom. Just a couple hybrids here. I don't have my 3-wood today. My 3-wood cracked. I hit 3-wood a lot off the tee, and I practiced with it a lot. And I've cracked a few 3-woods, so I'm in transition now for a new 3-wood, but no tournaments right now. I'm sure I'll get me a 3-wood here soon. Hit a couple of hybrids. Let's hit one here where I'm really picking up the pace. And you missed it. There's a miss. That's okay, because if you're somebody out there that wants to increase their swing speed, you might have been told to go to the gym, maybe your swing's out of alignment, you got to do some work there. But for the most part, you got to train yourself to swing fast. Just swing fast. There's a flush one right there. Flushed by the big toilet. And that was like a fast swing, but it was normal looking. So when I'm really working on speed stuff, and I like to do this with people that come and see me, I get them to swing with reckless abandon. Something like this. Here's a reckless abandon swing. How fast can I go? Normally this club's about 218 in the air. That was about 230. And as I have been doing these reckless abandon swings, I do that for a few hits. I won't do them all now. Sometimes the whole practice session will be reckless abandon swings, right? So I'll be, maybe my drivers, my normal ball speed is like 161, 162. Then I'll make some really fast swings. I'll get it up to 170. And then I'll go back down to some normal swings. And all of a sudden my ball speed is 164, 165, 166. You're training your body to accept that. And now your normal speed bumps up because your body knows it can move that fast. It's a great way to build speed without having to go to the gym, which, hey, go to the gym. I think it's great. I think going to the gym is fantastic. It's good for you mentally. You'll get stronger. And it's great. But I think it's overdone. I think most of it is vanity. Guys that work out, they just want to look good. I'm one of them. I think most of the time when I work out, it's for vanity purposes, right? Driver. Decent. Most of the time when I do really fast swings, I'll do it with the driver, the reckless abandon stuff. How big can I turn? How fast can I swing? Doesn't necessarily have to be a good shot. You just want to be moving fast. Here it is again. Got to be careful not to hit people on the other side of the range. This is the back side of the range here at Goose Creek. Nice place to be quiet, nice practice. Get your thoughts together. We can't all have that, but I do. Let's hit one more drive here. Do a little routine. Thought maybe you'd like to see a few face-on swings, not all down the line. Beautiful. You know, you watch people swing sometimes in just regular motion, especially a deep player, you know, somebody who has good timing, good tempo, nice athletic motion. You go, wow, what a good swing. If you were to slow down my swing at certain points, you would see some things that would be kind of different in my release. And there's people that would say, oh, you know, if you did this, if you did that, you know, you could improve that. And I've worked on my swing. I've seen positions that are not textbook, you know. But if that's all you're worried about, and you can't find, you know, matchups for something you do bad, that something maybe isn't conventional. You don't have to be conventional. You don't have to have this perfect textbook swing. You need to swing your swing, like Arnold Palmer said in that commercial a few years back. Swing your swing. Now, if your swing is, you know, this, you probably don't want to swing your swing. That being said, you know, I know that my left isn't exactly straight. It gets a little bent. That's no big deal. I do work on it. I try to make sure I don't push my arm back. That creates tension. I try to make sure I pull it back with my right arm. It feels like my right arm is straight right now. Obviously it's not straight, but it feels like it's straight. And that extends my left side, or my left arm. Boom. I kind of go back to maybe a couple of mid irons. See if I can find my 7-iron here. Yeah, that's my 7-iron. Let's kind of end it here with a couple of 7-irons. Kind of a middle of the club, middle of the bag type of club here. That was fat. That was no good. And usually when I do that, I get lazy. Don't get lazy in your practice. Let's do a routine. Little skinny. One thing I also noticed in my swing for lots of years is that I tend to stand the club up. I don't have a ton of forward shaft, and that's okay. You know, maybe I'm not quite as optimal with the distance I can get on my irons because I'm not turning that 7-iron down enough. That's okay. I do hit the ball high. I do enjoy hitting the ball high. I think it's an advantage. So maybe I'm 10 yards shorter than optimal would be at my club history with my irons. But if I want to hit it low, I can always hit it low. Hey, if you can hit it high, you can hit it low. If you're a low ball hitter, it gets hard to hit it high. Okay? This is just a low shot. You can always knock it down. It's not an issue. Hitting the ball high for a lot of people is the issue. Let's get a good normal flush 7-iron at 170. Bada bing. 2-stroke penalty. If God touches it, that ball was up there. Yeah, I could probably hit it 180 if I had a little bit more forward shaft lean to left of that club more. But you know what I do? I grab a 6-iron if I want to hit it 10 yards further. I got another club. It's that simple.